What are the NPCs upset about this week? The NPC upset update.
Well, I don't know, but I said something about a Taylor Swift movie that I didn't even know
Yeah,
about.
are you right? Yeah, so you didn't know that Taylor Swift has so she's on this big tour that's like making $1 billion and selling out everywhere, and scalpers are for thousands. It's just also stupid. And so then they decided to record a few nights of the show and put it in theaters. Now it's actually been kind of cool because she didn't do it with like the regular like movie studio. She just did a deal with AMC, the theater chain, and they just put it out in Regal and different theaters. Made almost $100 million last weekend.
Wow.
So it was the biggest concert movie of all time. And they did it without the big studio system, which, you know, I'm all for.
So it was like a movie about just her singing, or there was.
It
like
was a
movie?
concert movie. It would be like if you watched a movie of a concert. Did you ever see that Justin Bieber movie?
I don't. Yeah, I think I
Kind of like that, but I think just more music. I think there's like 40 songs in the movie, and it's almost like 3 hours long.
What the?
Yeah, this really happened. Okay, this is really happening. It's not playing on the weekdays, but it's playing on the weekends.
So people go to movie theaters. I'm not making fun of anybody who's done this, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who's watched this who's done this. But you would go to a movie theater and watch 40 songs in a row and leave the theater.
Okay, so
It's just 40 songs.
glad that you sent that. Because this is what they're upset about. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour film ignites debate over movie theater etiquette. So people aren't just sitting in the theater watching this.
Don't tell me they're standing up.
Oh, it's going crazy. So this is what they're upset about.
Let me read this. Guys, OMG, I went to watch the Eras Tour movie and I didn't hear Taylor for 1 second. It was so bad. People were so disrespectful. Like, there were some that actually were kicked out of the room because they were being so rude. They completely ruined a lot of people's experiences there. So they were like singing and screaming the music.
Yeah, so this is only a 3-second clip, but this is like one of the viral ones that was posted.
What on? No.
So this was going on all over the place.
Insane.
So people were upset. This one says, I will say, if you're going to watch Taylor Swift movie, go expecting a more concert experience and you'll enjoy it more, because as a theater experience, it's horrible. Expect dancing, standing up in the chairs, screaming and singing along. She made this for her hardcore fans. I mean, I don't even know. I honestly don't really know how I feel, because it's like the movie. Look, I feel for the people running these movie theaters.
Oh, yeah. They're like, God, help us,
They're
please.
screwed big time right now, okay?
They've got to make a decision. Are they going to make some hardcore rules, or are they going to let this go until it plays out?
That's the thing. So this is the thing. This is why the movie theater experience has gotten so terrible lately, where people just pull out their phones doing all this stuff, because they can't afford to say don't do it.
Yeah, wow.
You know what I mean? There was a time where it was
you could
what would you call it? A buyer's market or a
they
seller's
would come in
market.
and say, put your phone down. And
Yeah,
they would yell at you.
Remember they used to come in and like check? They don't do that. I don't see them do that anymore. They used to come in, check, count, see who's there. Now they're just they're just
free for all.
I don't care if you paid or not. I'm just happy you're here. Go buy some snacks. But it's just
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
What do you think about that? Would you be okay with, like, imagine that there was a Jimmy Eat World did a concert movie. Would you be dancing and singing, or would you sit there quietly?
No, I would be. Yeah, no, I mean, I would be sitting there, but like the question is, would I be annoyed that other people were? Yeah, that would be annoying.
It just takes some time. They're like, I love this song. They're freaking out for the middle.
No.
Have you seen? I think it was all coordinated for the marketing for the movie. But have you seen how she's dating some guy from the Kansas City Chiefs, and so she's been coming to the games, and they're making a huge freaking deal about it. It's so obnoxious.
I think Travis Kelce was his name. Kelce.
Helsh, or I don't know.
No. It's the guy from the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
The
Travis something.
I swear it's Kelce.
She starts dating this guy, going to these games, and making this big deal right in time for her movie to come out.
Of course, yeah. It's all a scam.
Over it.
I thought that people were over the. Oh, I'm just not with the times. I'll clearly, but I didn't think that people were like that into Taylor Swift anymore. Like I don't hear anybody talking about her.
That's what I told Kelly, and she was like, "No, she's as popular as she's ever been. She's even more popular. Her tours, the tour she did, they're just doing right now or whatever, is like covering every era of her.
Yeah.
So she's doing tons of songs from every album and all this stuff. So it's like a big celebration. So it's just,
Yeah, but imagine if she just went on tour for like her newest CD.
Right. I don't know.
And she was just playing those songs and a couple of other ones. Like, would it be? So
Right,
that's what I'm saying. What I said the other day on the podcast was that millennials
Right.
are so nostalgic. It's sickening.
Yeah.
Like, do something. Like, do something different. Stop just living in the past. Stop living in these memories of all the stuff that you did. Like, do something more. Build something.
Think about why you want to live in the past. Is it because things are so sad? Then fix it.
Yes, and I think
make
that's
your life better.
Right. That's what annoys me so much about this whole Taylor Swift era. It's all these people that are in their 30s who generally aren't married, aren't doing what you would think normal society has done for generations, and then they post all this stuff on Instagram about how it was like this religious experience, and I got this tattoo, literally. It's insane. It's sad, and
then you go to the concert and the movie concert and get upset.
It's worse at the concert, at the movies. You can't even go to a movie. It's hilarious. I told Sarah the other day, we were walking around, and I said, I was looking around at the guys, and I was like, Sarah, just look at this. We're living in a country. I'm thinking about this as a guy. If there's a war.
No, I know. I think about this all the time.
I'm screwed because I'm going to fight. And there's nobody to back me up. I would be backing them up, and then I would die. Because I would be in that mindset, and they wouldn't be able to help me because no one is physically fit. You can't, and so it's weird. I was thinking, because all these wars are going on. I was just thinking, okay, worst case scenario. Yeah. Imagine the government says, Jordan, you're gonna go fight. Okay, I guess I'm doing this now. So then I go to war. I was just looking around the mall. I was like, how many of these people are physically fit enough that I would be like, okay, I'm in the trenches with this person.
Yeah.
And I just thought this is a failing nation because And then you see all these videos of all these other countries that we consider like the crazies or whatever. They're the ones who are doing all this stuff. But then you see all these guys and they're just ripped.
They could take us out real quick.
Like if they were just transported here.
Say bye-bye.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do?
Related to this, we were watching Survivor, and there was a guy on there, and I don't want to pick on him because he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
But he was struggling so much, even with like
physical challenges.
Yeah, I mean, he's like stuck in the water. He can't get out of the water.
Yeah.
Then he's just failing at everything, and he keeps talking about I have really bad anxiety and stuff like that. And then the people are having arguments back and forth, and they're just it's all this like I understand your feelings, I understand your perspective, but so nobody's actually talking about what they're talking about. They're talking about how they're feeling about what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I just told Kelly, I looked over, I was like, they're not gonna be able to do this show much longer.
No. And I saw that's so true. I watched because it was on some streaming service, so I just clicked on it to see like, oh, what's the new seasons like? What do the people look like?
Yeah.
What does where are we at this point? Like physical nature of people. What are they talking about? Clicked on it, and it was that kind of stuff. And I just thought, this is so boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like nobody could be honest about. It was like everyone was afraid of what the viewer was perceiving of how they were reacting to things happening. It was this weird meta, and I was like, I can't do this.
I will say that Survivor has gotten better.
Okay, the one season I saw was the one where. And I watched like just the first 2 episodes, but it was the one. It was like the rich versus the poor, and the whole thing was like,
oh, that was a while ago.
Were you privileged or not?
Yeah. That's been a while. Yeah,
it was kind of painful.
Yeah, it's kind of it's gotten to where the show's been on long enough now that most of the people that play grew up watching the show, so they all really want to be there. So for a little bit, that's been really cool, but I think it might be getting to a point where everybody's like, I've got really bad anxiety. So I've got really bad anxiety, and so nobody's gonna be able to like physically do it. For so long, when somebody is not capable of doing the show, they are really chastised on the show, and I feel like at some point they're gonna have to start they're going to start feeling like we can't make fun of these people. Like if they're not, and even though they're going to want to, because they're like, look, for 25 years, people have been playing this game and doing just fine.
Why all of a sudden?
Why all of a sudden can nobody do this game? So they're going to have a lot of trouble finding. They're not going to have trouble finding fans of the show because this guy was like a huge fan of the show.
Yeah.
They're going to have trouble finding people that are fans of the show and can physically do it. So either they're going to have to just make the game easier, or they're going to just, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
That's funny.
interesting times. Okay. All right, well, let's just hope that they don't get us into a war. I don't think we're ready for it currently.
But to bring that back, Josh.
Yes.
But the society collapsing
Sure.
is what needs to these people screaming fans in the movie theater. That's what we need for a reality check. Is society collapsing as we know it. And no one's screaming at the
Remember
movie
when
theater.
I was mad that they were yelling at the screen during the
Yeah,
Taylor Swift?
and then
I would give anything just to be back in that room and everything was normal. That's gonna be their nostalgia. Is the nostalgia for the pain they felt.
Yeah, and then I'm
During
dead in
the-
a trench somewhere because no one was able to back me up. And that's the end of it.